Manchester United and its board have been exposed onto this case of Antony spending £85 million on the player. They had not gone ahead to make some good research on his crime record. And guess what? It has been told to us by a reporter coming from Brazil that this case of Antony was filed against him even before Antony crossed to Manchester United. So, welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys? Are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And today is obviously one of those beautiful days that you'll ever want to happen in the world, because it's a Monday, new week, and we hope everything is going to go on as planned. We are here to talk about Strictly Antony. You know, news is coming in slow, and we anticipate more stories to drop tomorrow as we fly to play against Bayern Munich on Tuesday. That is it, meaning that they are flying on Monday, and on Tuesday we are playing against Bayern Munich at the Allianz Arena. That is it. Now, today, James Daka, United correspondent for the for the Telegraph, has gone ahead and obviously issued the following statement that Manchester United were unaware that a police report for an alleged assault on a woman had been filed against Antony more than 3 months before the club signed him from Ajax. United say they carried out due diligence checks as they do all transfer targets before signing him. Now, this is a lie being put up to really defend the club of Man United, but the board has been exposed again, because how do you tell me that a player with the profile of Antony can find himself in a position of his case not to be known to Manchester United 3 months before they signed him, meaning that they had gone off their plan and they didn't really go on the grid to obviously search for this guy and what he has been doing in his previous careers. That is Antony for you, and they are now exposed in daylight. When you refer this to how they handled the Mason Greenwood situation, especially Richard Arnold, it shows you how incompetent they are to do this job. Because why is this happening to Man United only? Man City, Benjamin Mendy just did that when he was at Man City, but he was obviously proved innocent, and he's now playing for a certain team in France. So why is United facing all this? You know, spending £85 million on a player who had gone ahead to assault his former lover in May, and by the time they signed him in August, they never really knew what this player was all about. It shows you that the incompetency is really huge at this club of Man United. And now, more facts coming in from Brazil really indicate that Raissa de Freitas filed a complaint to Sao Paulo Civil Police in May 2022, in which she alleged she was attacked by Antony and a woman after an argument in a car following a night out in Brazil. It is understood that the police report has since been retracted in full. Now, this is also another case for Antony that was reported to police in May 2022. It shows you that Antony is a troublesome player, and United never knew all this when they went in for him. So it is one of those things that you have to pay a lot of attention to detail to, because now, if Antony is found guilty in any of these charges, who is to blame? Who is to blame? Who is to blame? Who is to blame? It's the board and their incompetency being put up to the world to know that they are obviously incompetent to obviously do their job. They also add that the club only became aware of the police report via media reports in Brazil this month, when they was also shared by Antony's representatives. So they even got to know about it this month, and Antony was signed in August, and now it is close to a year ever since they signed Antony that they never even knew about what he did down in Brazil. This is a different case altogether in Brazil. Now, De Freitas and the other woman in the car accused each other of assault. De Freitas initially accused Anthony of assault, but she is understood to be subsequently withdrawn the allegations. So, these De Freitas women in Brazil went ahead to withdraw the allegations, but that shows you that Anthony has found himself in danger several times at that side, and it obviously leaves us with a bitter taste in our mouths, because a club and an institution at the level of Man United, they should be having investigators that obviously get this going, because Erik ten Hag gave them the list of the players he wants no sooner he was announced as a United manager. That was towards the end of March 2022. After that, they had to obviously start to talk to the agents of these players and do what we call a background research. But the board of United didn't know about Anthony's case, and when you research about the background of a player and he's been having some police cases, that means it's a red flag, and you cannot obviously spend 85 million pounds on the player. So this board of United is doing lots of injustice to the manager, because some of the problems that Erik ten Hag is facing are because of what the board never really to do. We are into a problem of Jadon Sancho. Sancho is one of those players that's going to have to come out and obviously not show up to mandatory training sessions because he refused to apologize to Erik ten Hag for the public statement he put out on his X that it took him 8 days to obviously withdraw. That is Jadon Sancho. So United is going through a spell that none of us would love our team to be there. Some people call it a curse, but I don't call it a curse. This is poor management and poor decision making. Now, another decision they failed obviously to do was Ten Hag willing to sell Donny van de Beek, Scott McTominay, and Harry Maguire. Fulham put £60 million on the table, and they didn't want to sell these players. Now, that is a mistake they made, because it's going to cause a lot of instability into the board or into the team of Manchester United. Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay, £60 million to me, it would have been a bargain for Man United, especially coming in from West Ham, because £60 million could have helped us to really get in Amrabat in time, do a very perfect medical, and see whether he could heal in time. And that would have been close to £25 million, meaning that a balance of 35 would have gone ahead to sign Todibo or Disasi from Monaco. All those are decisions that are going against the manager, and every time the manager doesn't really get in what he wants, we obviously fail. Look, that central defense of Man United, Erik ten Hag wanted Disasi or Todibo, and Kim Min-jae was the first player he wanted. Did they get him Kim Min-jae? No central defender has been delivered apart from Johnny Evans. So it shows you that these quick fixes that this board is doing are signs of incompetencies. When you add them to what the team of United has been going in through and signing players like Anthony, whose reputation has been obviously dotted and having question marks on it, it leaves us saddened as a team of Man United. And this is why I called upon the people or the fans of United that it's not time to point at Erik ten Hag. The problem are the Glazers. That is it, because if we happen to keep the Glazers here for another season, we are going to ruin our season. They need to sell this club as soon as possible, and they need to feel the pressure that this club should be sold. And this is the tactic they're going to have to be using, that fans are now looking at the manager and taking off their attention from the Glazers. Yet the Glazers are the ones to blame for everything, because they don't have the budget. They've messed up the transfer window. They've gone ahead to sign players on huge wages. They cannot dislodge them, and you ask yourself, who is giving these huge contracts? How can Jadon Sancho be earning £350,000? He was earning close to £70,000 at Borussia Dortmund, and they multiplied his salary by 5. that is really unforgivable. Anthony, he was earning 50,000 at Ajax and he found his salary being multiplied by 4. You know, Martin Odegaard, the captain of Arsenal, at the level at which he's performing at, they're only willing to give him a contract of £120,000 a week. So these are things we need to learn that it's the board, not Erik ten Hag, to blame. So guys, your thoughts on to United board expressed on Anthony are welcome on the comment section below, and I sign out for now. See you later, and I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. The Muslim viewers and subscribers, Barak Lau Fikum. We sign out.